Good day, strategy gamers, and welcome back to episode 49 of our Let's Play series, Stalingrad to Berlin, a War in the East 2. In this episode, we're going to finish up our ground movement phase of turn 46, do some administrative work in the background, and then we'll close out the turn, seeing how the German player reacts to our moves, and setting us up for a great turn 27 and episode 50 of this Let's Play. So, some exciting stuff. The previous episode we left off right around Aryol with my continued surprise of SS Panzer Grenadier divisions popping up always where I forget they are. So here the LAHS Panzer Grenadier division is camped out. We had moved down a rifle corps here to try to break through because we didn't have intel on what was here. We don't necessarily have a concern of a counterattack here, but it's just now we have a rifle corps, right, that is in a position where they cannot really affect the outcome of the fight, right? So I kept thinking about this, and what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to move the rifle corps over here, and I'm going to move this rifle division there as well. I'm going to move this rifle division back to a more defensive position. Move down this rifle division, and we're actually going to try to break through here. And we are successful. Both of their elements retreated. So now this SS Panzer Grenadier division is sitting out here a little bit more isolated than it was in the previous turn. So in that sense, I think a little bit of mission accomplished, and now they have to think about the threat of how do they handle this rifle corps that is pressing south. Now again, as I end it with in the previous episode, one day I will learn and I will let my troops lower their fatigue and build up their combat prep like this 6 Guards Rifle Division, but this turn obviously is not going to be the turn for that based off the decisions I've been making. We could break through here this 1st Sturm Brigade, but the problem is on either side they would be able to probably counterattack, so I think we're going to leave that unit alone. And we're going to look down here and see, okay, can we maybe have a breakthrough continuing our advance towards Kursk? Right, so the question is if we want to push through against the 215th Infantry Division or the weaker elements of the 263rd and 88th. I'm of the mind that we're going to take this stack here and have them push back this hex. There's a cavalry division committed, but they still retreated. And now what we're going to do is take all 6 of these and try to push through here. It's going to be tight, especially if they have another unit committed to the defense, but we're going to try. Romanian Mountain Division was committed, and they managed to hold us back. Now that had the unfortunate consequence again of really suffering the fatigue, because we made 2 attacks in 1 turn with those units. But we're still in a defensible enough position that I'm not too terribly worried about it. Back there we just have this rifle brigade. I think that's fine. Down here, we pushed pretty hard the previous turns with these hexes. The question is, where do we go next with them all? And I kind of like the idea of focusing, or continuing to focus on the push towards Kursk here. So I think what I might do is take this rifle division, have them come up here, and let's actually try to break through. 27 to 8. Infantry division was committed, which we probably expected, but they did retreat. They also lost 33 armor, so let's take a look at that. That's some good news for us. So the armor probably came from this Panzerjäger battalion, or the Stug battalion actually. So let's take a look here. Sure enough, they lost a total of 12 Stug 3s, 6 Marder 2s, 8 Panzerjäger 38s, 7 Stu 42s. So that's pretty significant. Whereas our losses were really spread out. We had some Lend-Lease vehicles here. T-34s, excuse me, actually were not even the bulk necessarily of our losses. Then we had some of those self-propelled units, the 76 and the 152, the light and the medium version, went out as well. Now, I think we're going to have ground support toggled off. Go back to movement mode. Down here, we can probably push through in this hex, so let's do that. 7-2. Panzer Division was committed. That's going to be problematic. Yes, they managed to hold. They had 180 armor involved in that. And down here, sure enough, is the 6th Panzer Division. So that makes sense. Over here, these guys, they're all at 40, 50 fatigue because we were really trying to break through these units. But what ended up happening was they had so many units sitting on reserve that we were unable to. It is pretty much what had happened. But I think we can probably bring up some units to try to push through. And I think I might bring up, debating bringing up this rifle corps and then trying to reinforce and defend this hex against that armor, which then limits their ability to just be used in every attack we have along the front line as a defensive measure. Let's give this some continued thought. So over here we've got these two units, and I feel like we might as well bring them over. And let's see if we just have this stack attack, if we're able to break through. They didn't have anything in reserve that was able to help out, so we did push them back. So that's good. I think we will take this rifle corps up here. So they have 51 offensive combat value. That is honestly higher than I was expecting. So let's see. Let's take this 112th guards. Oh, we can't actually. We are out of movement points, so I'm gonna have to move back. Okay. Shoot. In this stack, I think I'm just gonna leave them. So this 1st Guards Tank Corps actually is low supply, and they are really hurting as well in terms of their armor complement. So I'm going to take them off the line and have them fit. Except I did the wrong unit. So that didn't work out so well for me. So the 1st Guards Tank Corps is the one I actually wanted. Set them to refit. This Rifle Division, while you're there, I'm going to set you to refit too. And then I'm going to move you back to a more defensible position. There we go. Down here we probably have some more opportunities. Let's see. Got a 1 and a 4. 4 is a fortification level of 3. So I think what we might do. So let's take these tank corps. Let's see. Yeah, you guys need to get on refit too, actually. It looks like we've had some supply issue here to this front. This rifle division I'm going to bring south. I might just hold. And the reason I say that is that we've had this objective for so long, and it looks like we're finally going to achieve it this turn, of really having this north-south line from Voronezh down to Rostov, Stalino, etc. But pretty much it gives us another option other than what today we have of supplies coming from our national resource centers through Stalingrad, south all the way almost to Rostov, not quite, but almost, and then working their way back up north. It's a very roundabout way to get supplies here to the front because from west to east there is no direct line to Stalingrad. And the only north-south line the Germans have held. So now that we've captured this, I think this is going to be a bit of a focus for us to make sure we shore up our defenses here. And right off the bat we see there's only one hex remaining that we don't have. So what we're going to do is take this rifle corps up here. And we now see that actually along the front they don't have enough to really be able to stop us. So we're going to push right on through. So we routed that Hungarian division. And I think I might have them attack here too. They retreated. Excellent. And then I'm just going to take one of you and have you actually off the rail line. Over here, I'm going to take this mechanized unit and we're going to push through against this mountain division. They rout it. Now, one of the big questions is what exists here. So let's take this rifle corps up to try to scout that out a little. Okay, and nothing that we can't push through successfully, so we'll take up a full stack here to make sure we break through this Hungarian armor division. And they retreated. And then we'll bring up this rifle division just to ensure we can hold that one. I think I might take a rifle corps back as well here. There we go. So we're not going to go too crazy on pushing through because we really did push pretty hard in the previous turn too. Like you see here, rifle division with 74 fatigue. But we do have some that are in a good spot. So let's like take you up here. Let's have you push through. Rout at them there. These are all elements of the 5th Guards Army, which we brought up to help with this whole advance. Take you up. That's 9-2. They retreated. Take up this 4th Guards Rifle Corps. And we'll also take the armor that was there. Well, that tank corps does not look like it is ready for a fight. Yeah, no. You need to get on refit. You need to get on refit. And where's your HQ? Back there. We'll bring you back there and we're going to set you on refit. This rifle brigade surely is doing okay by now. It's close enough. We're going to take them off and them up. Come there, baby. That was the tank corps. I've done that twice now in this one episode. I really need to be more careful about which unit I've selected. Okay. But now what I want to do is make sure we push through here. So let's take this entire stack and just move them up. We'll have them attack here. Rout it and retreat it. So that's good. Here this rifle division can come up, as can this armor. And I think we'll take the 89th. No, not the 89th, because you need to head south. Anything. 5th Guards. Yeah. There we go. Have you guys push through. They retreated. So they are on the run here, right as we're breaking through. So that is all good news. Bring up the artillery, have them on reserve to be ready. We'll push some of these guys forward to try to create a forward line. So there we got a rifle division. Here we'll move up. Bring up the 5th Guards with them. Might actually have them. I don't know if they can. Yeah, they can't this turn. That artillery will bring up here. Same with this artillery. Just in case of potential counterattack. Here we've got, yeah, really this entire stack actually. I'm just going to move forward. I think I'll have them cut. Now, let's see. one is the second guards, the other is the 6. Let's have them come up here. Okay. This mechanized unit can come up. Then we'll have this other mechanized unit also join them. Then let's push back this Hungarian armored division. Nope, don't have enough. About you. Nope. Okay. Alright. There we go. We have finally done it. We have finally captured the railroad that runs from Voronezh south towards Stalino and Rostov. Hip hip hurrah. I actually am genuinely excited, even though my voice did not portray that as I said it. Move up a couple of these HQs just to try to get them in range. That was very, very poor management in that 25th Tank Corps. They moved 3 times as many hexes as they should have. Had I just done a better job of making sure I selected the right unit and moved the HQ first. But lessons learned there. Let's have some of these guys go forward and push a little. It's like here we're going to take this stack and have them push through and retreat it. Bring up this rifle division. Easily break through here. Good, so we routed them. Over here, this tank corps we're actually going to move up. Now let's take all of you. Nope, we don't have enough. We take you though. Now we do. Alright, so push them back as well. So this is really going to start eating away at the morale of some of their units, which is good. Here we're going to attack north because I see there's a routed unit there, so hopefully we can shatter them. Jaeger division routed. Good. And we got a depot, it looks like, which is also good news. This HQ unit now can move forward. Don't normally do that, but I'm going to have you right on the edge of the line. I'm really not anticipating any type of counterattack or anything like that. Let's see if maybe we do take just these 2 units and have them attack. Infantry division was committed, but we still managed to break through. Excellent news. All along the front we are advancing. All along the front, this rifle corps we're going to get up here. And we're going to take the strongest units we have. Because what I need to do is beat back this Panzer, or this Romanian armored division. So let's take these 4, push them back. It's almost 4-1. We retreat it, they lost 30 armor. Good news. Good news indeed. Now, let's see. Just looking at what we have in reserve here. I might leave these 2 for now. Let's take a look at railroad repair while I have you selected. And I think I will move you north to get started on repairing this line. Alright, so we run out of movement points, but that means next turn we're going to have this whole rail line repaired. I feel like I keep saying rail yards. My apologies for that technical inaccuracy. Over here, we have a great opportunity to push through north of Stalino. We just want to make sure we're as effective as we possibly can be in our push. Let's take this stack and push through. Mountain Division was committed. We should still be fine. We were. We captured their depot. Okay. And then I really thought we'd have enough maybe to move forward there, but it doesn't look like we do. Let's take these guys and have them push forward. Routed them back. Alright, so that now opens it up for these guys to go forward. You can go forward. And let's start pushing south here. Oh, Totenkopf Festus Panzer Grenadier Division. Look at you getting all fancy. Okay, very well. Let's have you guys push against this element of the Panzer Division. Routed them, they lost 12 armor. Good stuff. Here we're going to take the strongest units we have, this first guards, and move them up. Bring down some more units here too. Let's see, we can bring up that rifle division. Let's actually bring all of these guys in. And let's try to push through here. That was successful. They both routed. It's always what you want to see. I have 11 there now, pushing through here. Panzer Division was committed. Okay. So they held. Let's now take like that rifle brigade out. I'm going to bring in this rifle division. I'm going to bring up this artillery unit. Which one? Yeah, let's try this. They held again. Okay. Here they have 23, so I need to be careful to the north. You guys don't have enough. Okay, very well. Yeah. Let's keep pushing here. So I had multiple units committed to the defense, but we still overran them. So that was a win. And we're going to take up fresh infantry divisions. Just a never-ending cascade for the Germans to have to face. And now we're going to have these guys push through against the Hungarian High Command. Feels like that should be pretty impactful, but I don't think it's actually going to do anything. Yeah, we certainly don't have enough. Maybe here. Let's do... Nope. Too exhausted. Too exhausted. Fair enough. Fair enough. So let's do this. Let's take you off the line. You off the line. Now we'll have you push through. And we retreat at them. Right? If at first things are not looking like they will work, just keep on trying. Let's move you up here. All of these HQ units as well, I'm going to move up. Maybe not all of them, because some of them actually were pretty close. Ready. A few of them. Move up a hex or two. I have any up here I needed to concern myself with. It doesn't look like it. Okay. So continuing in and around Stalino. Here they have this infantry division with 70 defensive value, so we very clearly just have to go around them. In Stalino itself, they have over 100 defensive value with that infantry division, so I need to kind of go around. And you'll recall that I had these two units here that successfully broke through, and although we are going to lose them this turn, like both of these units will be gone completely because they are completely isolated. Although that is going to happen, I still feel like it was the right decision because this really did kind of force their hand. Now what I might do though, I'm wondering if I'm better off to attack before I let them just overwhelm me with all of their forces, right? Let's see. So I'm thinking, is it worth maybe taking out a few of their armor if I attack this Panzer Division? Let's do it. And I don't think we got anywhere close to their front line even. We didn't even get close to their front line. Okay. Very well. Over here, let's push through these guys so we rout at them. So now it's just one more thing they have to think about with the 3rd Panzer Division. Over here, I think I'm going to move these guys back. Just because it doesn't seem like there's much point in losing against 24 attacking combat value when I have 3. Down here we have some units that look like they have been on refit and are now composed enough to be able to join the front line. Let's see if I can have you attack. Alright, so we retreat at them. So that's good. So now they do have 2-to-1 if they counter, but be okay with that. These rifle divisions are on refit. You are unready, so we definitely need to get you on refit. Let's even take back to your HQ, or near your HQ, I should say. And in this stack, this rifle brigade is likely okay. Yeah, you're fine. Take you off refit, get you back up. This rifle division is not even close. That rifle brigade is probably okay too. Yeah, pretty close. We'll take you off. Let's have you up here. Just contributing to our defense, right? Back here, this cavalry division. Yeah, you're not doing too great, so I'm just going to set you on a bit. This unit. Like you're just kind of out in the middle of nowhere. 50% everything. Set you on refit 2. And back here we had some units kind of in reserve. So I think what we'll do is we'll bring them up here to help with those defenses. We have the same thing here. Let's see. I think like the 4th Guards I move back. Then we're going to take the 24th Rifle Division up. There we go. So they very much could counterattack and break through almost any of these hexes. Let's take a look to see what the battles were like last turn actually for them. So let's begin here with the isolated units. So we actually managed to hold when they attacked us there. And over here, 4th Cavalry Corps, they retreated back to this hex instead of retreating back towards their own front line. So that obviously put them into the predicament that they are now presently engaged in. And you see we didn't really inflict any casualties on them. Here, the mechanized corps actually was here, but we got pushed back to this hex that we're currently in. And at first we held, right? Took out 1,300 of their men. On the second attack, we did retreat. We lost 27 of our armor. They lost 5. Then the third one is the one we had just actually initiated. Over here, that was us. Yeah, this was the Cavalry Corps and Rifle Division. And let's see. I'm a little confused. I'm looking, so I'm trying to figure out where that routed Rifle Division went because I don't see them. Interesting. But their Totenkopf SS Panzer Grenadier Division came in and was pretty impactful. The good news is, though, we did inflict about 15% casualties to their armor. And when we look at it, we took out one of their Tigers, a number of their SP units, and a whole bunch of Panzer IVs, which I will take that. Absolutely. You guys know I'll take that all the time, because we can certainly outproduce them in terms of those armor units. So I think that sums up all the battles that they had in their turn down here near Stalino. So I think we've had some good successes here. I think we're probably going to leave everything else as is. That Rifle Division is on reserve. That's good news. Let's bring that unit up. Set you on reserve. Right. Should be a pretty interesting turn for them. Zooming out a little so we can hop on over to the Crimea. Here they actually completely withdrew from where we pushed through. So I'm going to continue my advance up here because I really want, for example, strategic places like this town. And now we have a very defensible line we can kind of rally against. Bring you up here. This unit here. Now it's defensible for them too, right? So I mean that goes both ways. Going to take this unit here. This HQ, obviously now I need to move up much closer to the front line. Let's see about maybe moving them up here. Let's see. Now that naval unit, I actually might have them kind of stay and fortify right here, because this is one of the possible routes for them to go through. Yes, we're going to have them fortify right here. They're just going to be a reserve line. This Rifle Division, I think, will move up here. We will do the same with these units. And then I'm going to take these to an attack. So we have 3-to-1 odds there, but there is an infantry division committed. We still won, though. Good. Good. We're here. Let's take this Rifle Corps. We're going to have all of these guys attack. They retreated. Excellent. Move up this Rifle Division. Some of these weaker units, these naval rifle units, I'm going to move back into the defensive positions where they can come across at. So I'll have you go here to the swamp. this rifle brigade. Let's put you here. And have you stay in this town. I'm actually going to have you stay there too. Alright. So HQ units can move further up. It's Rifle Division. Yeah, keep moving you up. Let's have you go. I think it's probably going to be better for these guys to go towards Odessa. So let's bring you over here and start moving towards Odessa. Alright. And then rail repair. Let's get these guys cooking. There we go. So we are making progress here on the rail repair. And when we get the rail lines connected to these ports like Sevastopol and all that too, it's really going to start having supplies flowing up here very quickly. Which is really good news. And then what I think we will do... Well, actually, before I do that, let's see where all of our rail repair units are. So we have 2 up here. I just want to make sure that I use them this turn. I may have already. I have not, though, it would seem. So you have a couple of areas of opportunity. I think I might move you back south because of the success we've had breaking out here. For example, try to get this line open back up. Shoot, I should have had them repair the one I was sitting right next to. That was a mistake. That was a big mistake. Should have had that repaired while I was there. This guy's already done repairs. Okay. You've already been consumed. Fair enough. Let's look back down, though, towards the Crimea, right? And I think what I want to do is I want to bring in some units from our reserve pool, and I want to have them come in here towards the Crimea. And we have to be within 10 from the nearest enemy hex, and I probably should have just cleared this out so I could easily do like Sevastopol or something like that, but maybe I'll have them all come in at this port, because they'll be getting some supplies from that. We'll see if this is close enough. So 1, 2, well, 1, 2, 3. Try not to count it loud because we know that that's everyone's favorite thing to listen to. Yes, we're going to do, we right clicked and we're going to do set reserve theater box arrival hex. So now when we go to our reserve theater box, we'll see we have new coordinates for where units are going to come in at. And let's scroll to the top. We've got a number of tank brigades here, and I am going to deploy a lot of these, I think, because it'd be really good to get them available for use by the HQs. I haven't read fully into it, but I saw something on the forums the other day of folks saying the tank brigades felt like a bit of a waste, and I don't know that I have the same opinion of them. I perhaps did not understand the discourse well enough. But I kind of enjoy them because they have some more infantry elements than you traditionally would, which I feel can be really helpful when you're trying to use support units to help a defensive position, right? We're going to take some of these heavy tank regiments too, because armor is not always the best for a defensive position, but armor mixed with infantry in a defensive and fortified position, that can be pretty considerable, right? So I feel like there's pros and cons to that approach. We'll put some of these heavy tank regiments in too. Not going to bring in the flame tank battalions yet. These tank corps Boy, it would be interesting getting tank corps in the south there by Crimea, right? To be able to push through. And over here, these are guards, heavy tank regiments. Let's bring in 3 of the tank corps. Because I'd be really intrigued at their ability to kind of push quickly towards, say, Odessa or something. So we've got them coming in. And we have guards, heavy tank regiments. We're going to bring them as well. We will leave a couple of each here in reserves for future turns as they're needed. I want to start attaching these to some of the points that we want to break through, such as in Stalino and all that. These mechanized brigades, I'm going to leave them for now, actually. These motorized brigades, we will bring those to the map. Probably leave 2 of them, though. All right. Then we get to rifle brigades and rifle divisions. It's like this rifle division I for sure want to bring in. And then I think I'll bring in 2 rifle brigades. There we go. And I think I might also bring in these airborne divisions. Because we have some guards airborne divisions as well. I think these could be pretty resourceful in that Crimea theater. Do 2 more, I think. So now we're really allocating quite a bit down there, because I want to continue a bit of a breakout. Our SP gun units are just, of course, still not there. We're still not producing enough of the SU 122s, 76s, etc., etc. So no real update there. The other thing I wanted to do was take another. Did I lose my? Must have done something here. I've lost my enemy hexes being red. There's a short key for that, but yeah, it's right here. Somehow it just turned off, I guess. Let's take a look at the commander's report, and let's see if maybe there's not another general or something to be replaced. So I'm already pre-filtered down to army, and we'll look at some here based off of the sort of initiative, and a couple catch my eye, like Zaitsev and Trufany and Nikolai Trufany. I think I'm going to replace him. He's got 3 initiative, morale's at 5, which is horrible. 4 administrative, 2 mechanized, 5 infantry. But the 3 initiative, just I'm really not a fan of. And it looks like he's in the south here by Stalino. 51st Army. Let's see where they are. Yes, I mean, they're right in the thick of it right now. Right in the thick of it. They are almost all infantry units, right? They have some armor regiments, but they don't have any actual tank corps or anything like that. So it is primarily a infantry-focused headquarters. I think I'm going to swap out him as a leader. So we're going to go back here. We're going to dismiss him. And right off the bat, we see we have just this all-star, Alexei Antonov. But I feel like he's just too good for the mere 51st Army that only has 16 command points attached to it, which will go down to 14 when we eventually lose this unit. So let's look to see if there's a more conservative replacement that's still an improvement, but isn't necessarily using up a leader we might want elsewhere. So we've got a couple of options here. Um, this guy's not looking too bad. Svitstvev? That's probably horribly wrong. I'm sorry, guys. And we're looking right compared to what the current stats are. And we see that he is 361, whereas currently we have 251. So in almost every area except for error, which we don't care about, it's an improvement. His political rating's higher, his morale's higher, his initiative's higher, and his administrative's higher. So I think we're going to choose him. Lieutenant General Zitsev. Nice little portrait of the guy there. Swapped him out. Let's take another look at that commander's report. Let's maybe take a look at fronts and see who some of the worst leaders we have in the fronts. So some of these are the different theater boxes. So for example, the steppe front is not one that we currently have. We have things like the Bryansk front, the Transcaucasus front, etc. And we see that the Bryansk front has an initiative of 4, an administrative of 6, mech of 3, infantry of 6. So maybe this guy right here we could replace. So that's Miles Ritter. Yeah. So, you know, he's pretty important being on the Bryansk frontier because this is our push south towards Kursk. That is not an insignificant position. So let's dismiss him and see what options we have. And here we've got a couple that are just immediate improvements, like this guy, who we were looking at previously, Alexei Antonov, 9769441. He's actually worse in terms of an infantry rating because he's only a 4. But he's an administrative 9, which is just so much better. 6 instead of 4 for initiative. Just all of these other things. Morale is 7 instead of 6. It's just, I feel like that's probably a good trade-off. Now the infantry rating, as I said, is a little lower. We have some armor on this front, but not much. I think it's probably going to be worth it to replace him, though. So let's go ahead and replace the leader of the Bryansk front with Alexei Antonov. There we go. So I feel like we've gotten quite a bit done there. Let's go ahead and set AI assist to the depots. And then we'll go ahead and end the turn and see how things go from there. It's crazy to think that it's already May in the game of 1943. All right, now we're getting to the German logistics phase. So we continued a number of our breakouts, right? So we really reinforced the Smolensk breakout that we're looking at right now. Pretty much from what would be a good geographic point. I'd say about the Kharkov side of the German front, south towards Crimea. Pretty much that entire stretch, all along it, we pushed them back by 1 or 2 hexes, even down into the advanced side of the Crimea. So huge success there in this turn. In the previous episode, of course, we also had success up near Peskov. We had success near Adritsa. Actually, we were quite a bit past Adritsa now. Now we're on to Rezekny, pushing towards Riga. So we've had a lot of success around there. And then for next turn, and 2 episodes from now, we're also going to have a whole bunch of new toys to play with in Crimea, where we can use them to try to break out. And I'm starting to think maybe we're going to try a bit of a race towards Odessa, right? I think that might make some sense, because if we can capture Odessa, it's a large enough port that we can kind of keep ourselves supplied out of it. And there's some good defensible terrain that we should be able to hold on to there. And that might even be an earlier capture in terms of victory points as opposed to what historically had been done. We'll have to check that out as well. to see how ahead of schedule we might have been. Going through about halfway through the Germans' air phase here. Another thing that I was thinking about is we were pretty aggressive, whereas at the very beginning of this turn in last episode, I was very cautious about how we might let the troops rest a little and kind of solidify some of the lines, and we did nothing of the sorts. I shouldn't include you guys in my shenanigans. I did nothing of the sorts. Here they go eliminating our units, but what I was thinking about was we actually have some rain coming and some mud, if I'm remembering the weather reports correctly. So maybe it kind of was a perfect time to have done that, because now it's going to be that much harder for the Germans to counterattack. And finally you see they surrendered, which is quite unfortunate. And I think that was the only counterattack they were going to have the entire turn here. I don't know why I say these things. I say them, and then just the exact opposite happens. So they had one more counterattack here, but we held. This is up by Peskov, and they pushed us back. It actually looks like it was an interesting battle. We might have to take a look at that one. It also looks like the 11th Panzer pushed us back here. So they've brought in a mechanized and a panzer division that are really being quite effective here by Peskov. We managed to hold that time. They do it a second, though. I don't think we will. Down here, they brought in the 13th Panzer. We managed to hold. So they're really pushing. They really don't want us to get to Peskov, and they've now broken through our line. So this is the first time in a long time that we're going to have to look at this situation and go, okay, how do we recover here from their counterattack? So down here, I was kind of expecting that, right? They're trying to cut off our line that we made towards Rezekne. Ooh, okay, it looks like they actually managed to here with the 4th Panzer counterattacking. So we're going to have our work cut out for us next turn. I just spoke way too soon when I said that was the only counterattack down in Stalino. That was not even close to the case. So one of the top priorities for next episode is going to have to be reestablishing a line to Rezekne. And then the second priority is going to be to just get a grasp on the Peskov frontier, because they are counterattacking far stronger than we have seen in many turns. And I wonder if this is all just, again, kind of the historical nature sometimes of the AI of, in the summer months of 41, 42, 43, that's when the Germans were most dangerous, was in the summer. And late May here, that's kind of where we're starting to look at. So that might explain some of this. Alright. Now I think we're about done with the Germans' turn. We're going to have our hands full, though, next episode. I can just feel it. There's going to be a lot to do, so should be quite the time. Here they're building out their defensive line. Almost done. Alright. And then they're doing some air resupply. Yeah, so this speaks volumes to their supply situation right now. This is a lot of air resupply. Okay. So, you know, we will, when the logistics phase is over, we're going to jump right up there to Leningrad so no one gets any sneak peeks of what the front line looks like. I need some cliffhangers to get you guys back for the next episode. And we'll go over the end of turn summary report as we always do. I honestly wasn't expecting that they're going to be so aggressive this turn. Because the last two turns, really, if you look at it, we were much more damaging and threatening to them in the last two turns than we were in this turn, right, in terms of our breakouts and our pockets. So that's interesting. But I wonder if they finally started to feel that squeeze of, oh crap, our entire army group north might get cut off north of Riga. Right, I wonder if that's what caused so much of that. All right. So, let's see. 90,000 men lost, 2,000 guns, 800 armor, and 500 airframes. But we had a net positive 160,000 men for order of battle changes. 2,300 guns, 760 armor, and pretty much flat on airframes. Axis were positive 25,000 in men, flat on guns, positive 170 on armor, positive 37 on airframes. We had a slight uptick here, it looks like, in number of units that are low supply. So that's 73, and that might be caused by some of the units in Rezekne that were counterattacked, and 113 units that are under strength. So again, one of these turns I'm going to have to be cautious and let the troops rest a little. But things are still going pretty well. For new events, the Italian campaign continues to move forward, driven by a shortage of forces that the Germans have put there. Soviet partisans continue their work. And then some historical flavor here about the Hedgehog and U-954. Anti-submarine weapon, it looks like. So, with that, guys, thank you so much for watching, your continued support. I'm really excited for next episode as it marks our 50th episode in the Let's Play series. The Stalingrad to Berlin scenario has by far been so much fun compared to some of the others I've tried. And yes, playing as the Soviets, you have a bit of a historical advantage, right? Because you already have survived the greatest threat when you start of the advance towards Moscow. But it has still been quite challenging, and it's really fun trying to come up with the best path forward to make your way to Berlin. So we've been having a lot of fun with this. If you haven't checked it out yet, I encourage you to take a look at the 1941 scenario that we started about a week or two ago now, playing as the Soviets. That has been very difficult, and I at this point am playing to try to make sure I don't have to end the series with a defeat in like 5 turns here. So if you're interested in seeing me sweat a little under the pressure, that's the scenario that's the Let's Play for you to watch. And as always, should you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please leave them below, and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. As always, strategy gamers, hoping you have yourselves an excellent day. Bye now.